Welcome to The Explainer. Tonight we're looking at a pretty fascinating paradox in the tech world as we hit May of 2026. Because on one hand, we're seeing these literally jaw-dropping, rapid advancements in consumer tech, AI, and just massive entertainment blockbusters. But almost in the exact same breath, we're facing some of the most catastrophic warnings yet about our fragile and honestly failing digital infrastructure. So it's really a tale of two tech worlds right now. And getting a firm grip on both is absolutely crucial for navigating where we go from here.
All right, so here's our roadmap for tonight. We're going to cover the 9-year Linux flaw, the millions of medical records stolen, this new AI cybersecurity arms race, Android's laptop revolution, and finally, those next-gen gaming blockbusters.
Okay, let's dive into number 1, the 9-year Linux flaw.
9. Guys, for 9 entire years, a critical privilege escalation vulnerability, they're calling it copy fail, has just been lurking, totally undetected in the Linux kernel. Since 2017. You might be wondering, how does that even happen in a massive open source project where literally thousands of eyes are on the code? Well, it's what researchers call an emergent vulnerability. Basically, 3 completely separate, seemingly benign kernel changes were made over several years. On their own, completely harmless. But when you put them together, they created this perfect storm that went entirely unnoticed until April 29th of this year.
Tracked officially as CVE 2026-31431, this logic bug is terrifyingly simple. We're talking about a trivial 732-byte exploit. That is a staggeringly tiny script, but man, it packs a devastating punch. It basically allows any unprivileged local user to write arbitrary code to other files' memory, and boom, they gain root access. So what's the actual real-world impact here? Well, if you're running containerized environments, like Docker or Kubernetes, an attacker can just escape the container entirely and seize full, absolute control of the host system. It is a fundamental breakdown of modern cloud security principles.
And if we zoom out to look at the broader landscape, virtually every major Linux distribution shipped since 2017 is vulnerable to this. Ubuntu, Debian, Red Hat. The good news is patches are released and rolling out right now. But here's the real kicker. Kubernetes nodes are critically vulnerable. And why that matters so much is that over 70% of cloud infrastructure runs on Linux. To put that into perspective, we're staring down a potential global patching and remediation cost exceeding $2 billion. And worse, threat intelligence sources are confirming that this exploit is already being actively weaponized by attackers out in the wild.
So, right now, the absolute crucial point is action. If you're a system administrator watching this explainer, you need to execute these exact steps tonight. Do not wait. Update your Linux kernel to the latest patched version immediately. You've got to prioritize your Kubernetes nodes and container hosts before you touch anything else. Then make sure you review your system logs for any suspicious privilege escalation attempts, deploy your active monitoring tools, and seriously consider implementing kernel runtime protection, like SE Linux. Guys, this is not a drill. The proof of concept exploit is public and the clock is definitely ticking.
Moving on to part 2, millions of medical records stolen.
9 million. That is just a staggering figure. Over 9 million patient records, packed with personally identifiable information, alongside terabytes of internal corporate data, have been compromised. We're talking about Medtronic, the company behind the pacemakers, insulin pumps, and surgical robots that are used in hospitals all over the world. Now let's be absolutely clear here, because I don't want to cause a panic. Medtronic has confirmed there is zero evidence of any impact on patient safety, product functionality, or manufacturing operations. The actual device networks are kept totally separate from their corporate IT. But the compromise of the corporate data itself? It's massive.
And the whole thing unfolded with terrifying speed. On April 17th, the notorious ransomware group Shiny Hunters posted their initial claim, dropping proof-of-concept data samples straight onto the dark web. Just 7 days later, Medtronic officially confirmed the breach. Shiny Hunters is incredibly sophisticated. They typically exploit database vulnerabilities to gain access, and then they hold that data hostage for extortion. Medical data is highly lucrative. It's like a gold mine for them because it packages your personal info, medical history, and often social security numbers all in one neat little package. For Medtronic, the financial fallout in recovery, fines, and lawsuits is estimated to easily blow past $50 to $100 million.
So again, patient physical safety and medical devices are completely uncompromised. But if you happen to be a Medtronic patient, you need to protect your digital identity right now. Definitely await their official notification, but don't just sit on your hands waiting. Start monitoring your financial accounts and your credit reports today. Medtronic is likely going to offer free credit monitoring.
take it. Be hyper-vigilant for phishing emails, go ahead and change your passwords for any health-related accounts, and seriously consider putting a credit freeze in place. The data is already out there, so a proactive defense is for sure your best bet.
All right, number 3, the AI cybersecurity arms race.
Just days apart, the two biggest players in the AI space made some massive moves. OpenAI unveiled GPT 5.4 Cyber. This is a model specifically optimized for defensive use cases, right? So automating patch generation and really accelerating what defenders can do. But on the flip side, Anthropic just previewed Mythos. This is a frontier model that recently discovered literally thousands of vulnerabilities in operating systems and browsers. It's a frankly incredible showcase of power. But here is the dual-use dilemma we're facing. If an AI is brilliant at finding and fixing vulnerabilities for the good guys, what exactly happens when bad actors invert these models to discover zero-day flaws before the patches can even be written?
I really want to pause and let the gravity of this warning sink in. Yoshua Bengio, who is often referred to as one of the godfathers of AI, believes that these capabilities should be treated with the exact same international oversight as nuclear technology. Let that sink in. Nuclear technology. We are entering this wild era where AI shrinks the time between vulnerability discovery and active exploitation from weeks down to hours or maybe even just minutes. This kind of concentration of power is a systemic risk that the industry is honestly only just beginning to grapple with.
Okay, shifting gears to number 4, Android's laptop revolution.
Samsung is taking a massive gamble here. They are reportedly planning to completely abandon Windows 11 for their future Galaxy Book laptops. Instead, they're moving to Android 17 layered with One UI 9. The cornerstone of this whole strategy is an enhanced Samsung DeX, which is their desktop mode, to provide a true, full laptop experience. We're expecting the official announcement to drop alongside Google's new Aluminum OS at Google I/O this May. Make no mistake, this is a huge bet on complete Galaxy ecosystem unification. They want Galaxy AI on absolutely every single device you own.
Practically speaking, the advantages are pretty clear. You get seamless phone-to-laptop continuity, you get amazing battery life because it's optimized for mobile architecture, and of course, instant access to millions of Android apps. But the challenges to get there are steep. Trying to crack the Windows-dominated enterprise market, that is going to be incredibly difficult. Android laptops currently just lack the heavy-hitting professional legacy software, like the full Adobe Creative Suite or AutoCAD. Sure, DeX provides a really great desktop-like interface, but overriding decades, literally decades, of deeply rooted Windows user habits, that is the billion-dollar challenge Samsung and Google are taking on.
And finally, number 5, next-gen gaming blockbusters.
First up in the gaming world, dropping on May 19th, is Forza Horizon 6. Playground Games is finally taking us to Japan. This has been the most requested setting by fans for years, and it's going to feature the largest open-world map in the entire series' history. We're talking neon-lit Tokyo streets, mountain passes, bamboo forests, and a massive roster of over 550 real-world cars. But the truly historic shift here, even beyond the incredible gameplay, is the platform strategy. For the first time ever, this flagship Xbox exclusive is launching simultaneously on PlayStation 5 later this year. It's a huge shift, really showing Microsoft's commitment to software and services over strict hardware exclusivity.
And closing out the month on May 27th, we have 007 First Light. This is developed by IOI Interactive. Those are the brilliant minds behind the Hitman series. And it's a reimagined origin story of a young, audacious James Bond going through his MI6 training. You're getting that signature cinematic sandbox stealth gameplay where you get to choose exactly how to execute your mission. But what really takes this whole thing to the next level is the audio production. They brought in legendary Bond film composer David Arnold to collaborate with Lana Del Rey on the title track. Just imagine her melancholic, dreamy voice layered over that classic Bond orchestration. It creates this breathtaking, emotional atmosphere before you even pick up the controller.
And that really brings us full circle, because we are creating these impossibly vast, beautiful digital worlds in games and unifying our workflows seamlessly across AI-powered laptops, just accelerating into a breathtaking technological future. But as those 9-year-old Linux flaws and the 9 million stolen medical records remind us, our foundation is still profoundly fragile. So as AI steps in to both attack and defend, I want to leave you pondering this critical crossroads we're at in 2026. As we rush headfirst to build this incredible, connected tomorrow, are we building a future we can actually secure? Thanks so much for watching The Explainer, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.